Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to refill this Trip 7 G8000 vape. Now, for most of y'all that smoke this, if you smoke it all the way down to zero and keep smoking it on to zero, there's a chance that you're going to get that nasty burnt taste out of the vape. But today I'm going to show you how to eliminate that taste and to refill this vape. So the first thing we're going to do is remove this cap part, and step by step I'm going to show you exactly how to remove, replace, and how to not get the liquid in the tube, because the last thing you want to do is have the bubbling effect when you take a pull from these vapes. It sounds like you're sucking from a straw and there's water and it's just bubbling. I want to eliminate that, so I'm going to show you how to do this safely and effectively. Step one is removing this cap, making sure all the pieces are solely intact, and step by step removing one by one. That's the very important part, because you want to put the vape together as it was made. So the first step is removing the cap with the rubber piece still in the bottom so it doesn't get lost or missing. The second step is removing that filter on top. As you notice, I have it on a towel just because I don't want to pick up any unnecessary, but if you see as I squeeze it, a lot of that gook is going to come out, but it's fine. We'll handle that later. Second step. First step was the cap. Second step was removing that filter from the top. The third step was removing this plastic piece or this rubber part from on top of this vape. And as you can see, it's starting to dry out. So that's the third step. The fourth step, we're gonna take this filter or this sponge and renew it with some of this liquid. Fourth step is getting this sponge, sorry for the timer, this sponge out of this cylinder without disturbing the wick. So you want to make sure you get this sponge right here out of this. Now how I did it, a lot of these sponges have this little slit in the middle, this little opening. So what I'll do is put a knife into that slit and start wiggling it back and forth so that this sponge start little by little coming out of its port and out of the vape. So that's step number 4. Step 5 is adding the juice. Whatever vape juice you have, what flavors you guys pretty much want, this is what you're gonna use. And I don't want you to soak this sponge crazy. We're just gonna add a little bit here, add a little bit on top. Let's get that out of there. Add a little bit of juice on the other side, this side, and because this is the gap, we'll just leave that alone. So we're gonna start adding juice 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the bottom 5. So 5 sides. Now let's put the vape back together again. We got the juice that we wanted. I got this Apple XX. Soaked it on 5 sides. 1, 2 on top, 3 on the bottom, 4, and on this side 5. I didn't touch this side because it has a slit, as I mentioned. So we're just gonna leave that alone, and we're gonna stick this bad boy back into the vape. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so now that we safely got the vape sponge with the vape flavor back into its position, let's make sure it's flushed back into the position, we're gonna start putting everything back together. Now the second piece is gonna be that rubber part. Okay guys, so now we got the rubber part back on top. It's nice and flushed. It's not all the way pushed in. It's nice and gently sitting on top. It's not disturbed. It's back into its original position. Now we're gonna clean this vape off a little bit, and this filter, sorry, off a little bit, and we're gonna put it right back to its original position. All right, guys, so I did as much as I could without breaking or disturbing this filter part. But what I did was I took a piece of napkin and started little by little tapping it down to whatever excess juice comes out. Turn it around. As you can see, spilling on the napkin. Tap, 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 till I get it to somewhat fairly a decent clean. This side just a little bit. Tap, 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 tap. And I say it's fairly cleaner than what it originally was. So we're gonna put this piece back on top of that. All right, so now we got the filter back into its original place with a few tappings, got the unnecessary juices or liquid from its original vape flavor out of there. Look like dirt, but I don't want to damage the filter because it's going to be needed for whenever it starts spilling or pouring on top. It will soak it in, so I'm not too worried about it. So make sure you give it a good pat cleaning, and let's go on and put the top back. Okay guys, so now that we got this bad boy put back into its original position, added juice to eliminate the burn smell, the burnt taste. Now let's see how this bad boy pulls. So let's give it a good pull and see if we got rid of that burn aftertaste. Oh yeah. Still gonna be on 0, but the aftertaste and that burnt taste is eliminated. So we ain't gotta deal with the taste of the burnt. So there you go. This is how you refill this efficiently and effectively. If anybody has a Trip 7 vape, this is how you do it. It pulls nice, it's cleaner, it doesn't have that burnt taste, and I hope this helps everybody refill your disposable vapes without having to spend extra money. Till next video, peace.